MMA fighters doing boxing. Now, I do not think that our treasured MMA fighters should go over and do boxing to chase a bag anymore. I think active UFC fighters should not be leaving. Let me clarify. I think active UFC fighters should not leave to go get a bag boxing. Learn from Darren Till, okay? Learn from Darren Till. Masvidal is still under contract and he's just lost a boxing fight to Nate Diaz, even though he's still under contract with the UFC. We've had Ngannou get knocked out this year as well. I don't think we need any more MMA fighters going over to boxing for now. I think that Diaz versus Masvidal performance perfectly illustrates why they're MMA fighters and not boxers. The most exciting part of that fight was Nate Diaz showboating and then doing a fucking 180 and landing a 2 on Masvidal. That sort of woke him up a little bit, but didn't really do any damage. The whole fight was Nate Diaz putting on volume and Masvidal catching him with power shots that didn't really do anything. Nate just fucking ate him in those 16-ounce gloves. I'm shocked by how well their cardio held up, first of all. I think Nate's cardio, of course, is always very good, but George's did well as well. Neither of them really faded too much. I think could have something to do with steroids. I'm not going to accuse anyone of anything, but Nate's always had good cardio, but he did look in very good shape for this fight. Jorge Masvidal, people are throwing around HGH because of that protruded stomach that he has. He was looking very strong. I don't know fuck all about steroids myself. I train Muay Thai, but I'm not really around any steroids, at least that I'm aware of. I think the way that Nate won off of volume, somewhat controversially, and with Masvidal landing a few power punches, I think that it sets up the third fight perfectly, and there should be a rematch. I think Masvidal has said that he wants it to be in boxing. I think Nate will oblige it. I'd prefer to see it in MMA, along with all MMA fans, I'm sure. But what this does is hopefully it doesn't open up the door for other current active fighters to move over to boxing. I don't want undefeated or I don't want champions leaving UFC and to go try boxing because it's just not fucking fun to watch. Look what happened to Ngannou, right? Speaking of, we'll circle back to that later. I think Rampage Jackson is on the right track here. He's trying to fight everyone who comes onto his podcast right now. He had Rashad Evans on not too long ago and was trying to get his get back with him, trying to tee up a boxing match. Since this Shannon Briggs fight fell apart, he's been chasing anyone. I think Rampage is doing the right thing. He's a big name outside of the UFC, came up in Pride, fought in the UFC. I mean, he's outside of the UFC now. I think he's doing the right thing. I think Chael Sonnen and Anderson Silva are doing the right thing. Chad Mendes, Eddie Alvarez, they're all doing the right thing. Jorge Masvidal, who is still contracted on the UFC, leaving to go get a big payday, is fucking stupid. This doesn't mean I would want John Jones, when he retires, to go fight Francis Ngannou either. What I'm saying is those talented MMA fighters who've got good boxing, who are now retired, go and fight other retired MMA fighters. I'm not opposed to that at all. Like Eddie Alvarez versus Chad Mendes in bare knuckle boxing. That is a good fucking fight, and I support that. What else is fucking stupid is Anthony Joshua suggesting to Alex Pereira that he should go to fucking boxing. No, do not go to boxing, Alex Pereira. Do not. And do not, if you do eventually, listen, a few years down the line, maybe go to boxing. But for now, stay here. Kill John Jones, okay? And then, maybe in a few years, once you're retired, you're done with the UFC, hang up your belts, fucking put them all up, all 12 of them that you're gonna have, put them all along, yeah? Do that. And then, if you want a big boxing money fight, fight Ngannou. Who else is Ngannou gonna fight right now? Ngannou, if he wants to do boxing, should fight other retired UFC fighters. Is that hard? Do not. Please, no more MMA fighters go over to boxing and box until we get a boxing world champion come to MMA and get the shit beat out of them, okay? No more UFC champions, no more UFC legends getting ruined going to boxing, okay? Cool. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.